Hello friends, let's do a study with one color, Paynes gray. Every set I've ever had pretty much had Paynes gray in it. And this one, it's a little bit different from what I would expect. Here, this is the MeiLiang, and the Paynes gray is this one here, the 322. MeiLiang is like a Paul Rubens student grade. I love the set. It was not expensive and very well worth it. I just painted my windows. That's too funny. Really worth it just to have all of these different colors. But some of the colors are not what I would expect, or they don't seem to be. Like the one next to this here is the indigo, and I'm noticing the indigo seems a lot lighter than, or brighter than I would think of with indigo. So we're just going to stick right here with this puddle over here, which is the Paynes gray. And I'm going to show you how we can take just that one color and create a whole scene. So I'm going to wet the page, and I'm not taping off because today is my minimalist day. And I am working with one brush, one palette, outside with the birds, and keeping it very simple. So I'm going to figure out where I want my horizon line, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to want it to be right about here. So that's as far down as I'm going right now with this water. Right about there. All right, working in my sketchbook with my light wish paper, 140 pound, 100% cotton. I love this paper, and we'll see how it does. All right, let's take right off the bat. I'm going to just dip my brush down in here in this Paynes gray, and I'm just going to create some atmosphere in the sky. One of the things that I would do is to tilt the paper to allow it to just kind of do what it's going to do here. I want it darker at the top, but you can see how you've got already that kind of stormy looking dark sky. Really, really pretty. You could throw some more in there if you want. So we're just working with the one color. Trying to keep the paper pretty wet. See, just adding some at the bottom there. There we go. I'm liking the sky. And then down at the very bottom, we're going to do a multi-layer kind of mountain thing going on here. So I'm going to start with very, very light, because this is going to be way in the distance, really. So there's our first layer. Okay. And being outside, it tends to dry a little bit quicker. So I think we're good there as far as holding it in a certain position. As this dries, and we'll give it a second, you can kind of see the sheen on there. Oh, what I wouldn't do for some salt on the bottom of this, but that's okay. So I'm gonna lay those in there, and then I'm gonna wait until it's almost dry, because I want another layer of mountains a little bit closer. So it's just gonna be a little bit darker. I'm still pulling from the same puddle over here of this Paynes gray. I'm having to really look to make sure that sheen is the way I want it. I want it damp, not wet. Should be good. All right, this one will come down. Up, look. That's Paynes gray. It wants to do its thing. So that's okay. I can use my brush to kind of tame it a little bit, just like that. So now we've got two areas of distant mountains going on over here. Kind of even that out so it's darker at the bottom. because really what we're going to do is have one more. I'm going to be careful not to grab that indigo. And we are at the fourth one up is the Paynes gray. So let's just do this. Same place. And we're going to go one more. But this one's going to be much closer. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag very lightly across the bottom of this. Now it starts to look like little trees or whatnot down here at the bottom. And we're going to work with that. Excuse me. I'm going to pull in a shade. Oh gosh, there I went right in that indigo. If I could lift this out easily, I would be able to use that whole side. But this thing has been very stubborn today as far as being able to get it out of there. So I'm going to leave it. But just still working in this same area over here with the Paynes gray. I want to go darker. A lot darker. There we go. All right, this is just about dry. So now this next section, I'm going to pull it from right about here, and I'm going to pull it this way. That's a landmass. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this right along the side here. Now I'm going to wet my brush really, 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 really well. And I'm going to carve out some areas here. Normally I would do this with a flat brush, but minimalist day. So we're going to work with what we have and see how far we can go. These places, I do want it kind of craggly, so there we go. All right, so far so good. Now, on the other side, I'm going to pull in just some rocks, I think. So, because we kind of want to go with the same thing, same kind of theme, but I don't want a whole other landmass over here. What I am going to do is take a little bit of, just very, very carefully on this side. I'm going to wet some areas back here. That's going to be kind of light. But here, as we come further towards the front, I'm going to create some reflection, because that's water. Okay, and these guys here are going to be much darker. To let that dry just a tiny bit. While we are waiting, I'm just going to take the tip of the brush and just so slightly go across here, just to give the feel of some water. Let's get these rocks a little darker in the front. It would be harder to lift out, so I really want to make sure that I'm using the brush to kind of pull those shapes instead of using where I would be pulling it out. By lifting. All right. So far so good. Just like we did over here, I'm going to go with that same thing with these rocks. But first, I want to even up this over here. The edge of that. To get our horizon line. Might even darken that next layer a little bit. Carefully, very, very carefully. And very, 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 very easily. So I want it almost to be a damp, let's see on the back of this. Maybe even create shading, something here. Yeah, I like that better. A little character back there. Boy, these birds are going crazy all around me. All right, now that this is getting dried somewhat, I can kind of carve out. And what I was saying earlier was if I had all my tools, I would take a little pocket knife that I have and scrape out some of that color. You might still be able to lift out some. So we'll try. I want to lift out a little bit more on this one. Just to give it more of a, more character. Over here, it's fine. One color, that's all we're using. For some reason, and I don't know if it's, if I accidentally stuck in the blue, but this is looking awfully light. I don't want it to look too light. These need to be, because they are the closest, need to be the most defined. But they are also going to have a reflection. Some more than others. I'm pulling this one out a little bit because that water where I was pulling over across to simulate the water, it kind of gave it, that does look like blue, and I wonder if it's just granulated or something. Trying to be really careful in this true. Nope, that's the paint. So this one, really with just the tip of the brush. Character. All right, wetting that again, and let's see how much is left on this brush. I'm not going to waste it, see? Just a little inlet. And let's give it our shadows over here, if we can. Just a little bit more here. And really want this one to come down, and this one here. Trying to guide it so it goes in the places where it would be most natural. And we want a ripply kind of effect for that as well. There we go. If I can get, I've got some really clean water here. I'm going to use it. I'm going to clean my brush and try my best actually lift out a base on these rocks to make that distinction between the rock and the water. There we go. There we go. A one-color painting landscape. Minimalist style with one brush. And not my best paints. Doing this is a really good exercise because it helps you to kind of think about things a little bit differently. Like when I'm doing this sky, I kind of want to re-wet this sky here because I want a little bit more atmosphere. So I'm just going to re-wet just this area, and because I have some of this, I'm just going to drop it in. Just more clouds. There we go. Yeah. Atmosphere. And then blend that up into what we have here. Perfect. All right, there you have it. Done. I hope you'll give this a try. It's very rewarding. And you know, I'm a fiddler, so if you've been on my channel at all, I say that a lot, but it's true. I do. I fiddle because I'll see something, and then it's okay to do that when you have something you're working on and you've given it a lot of thought, or even if you haven't, something like this, you'll come back and look at it with fresh eyes and think, oh wow, what if I did this? Or what if I had, you know, pulled in just some more little rocks here or something, you know, whatever it is. Anything. Sometimes when you have fresh eyes, you can look at it a little differently, give it a little bit more character. It could put a bird or so, whatever, in the sky. Not going to do that. I want to keep it this simple. And that's it. I hope you will hit like and subscribe to my channel to help me keep this channel going. And I appreciate those of you who have subscribed. And if you don't mind, give me a comment. Let me know where you're viewing from and what you think of a one-color landscape. And if you've given it a try, let me know how it went for you. That's it. Have a wonderful day. Take care.